Hello guys. So a lot of you guys have been asking me like how do I train my aim on Valorant or how do I get better aim in general. So I'm just going to be making this video to show you guys what I do specifically to train my aim in Valorant and just hit better shots in general. Obviously, one thing to keep in mind is just by playing the game naturally, you're going to develop better aim. That should be your number one priority, so just be playing the game as much as you can, and over time you're just going to become a better aimer. Especially like in Valorant, you aim differently than in other games like Apex. So just because someone is insane at Apex doesn't mean they're going to be insane in Valorant, and the other way is true. Someone that's insane in Valorant isn't going to be insane in Apex, because there's different aiming styles, and Valorant is a crosshair placement type game, so it's just going to be a different type of like aim skill set than other games like Apex or COD or anything like that. And even like in CS, like it's still different from CS because CS is focused on a lot of spraying, while Valorant is focused a lot on tapping and bursting. But anyways, alright, one of the most useful tools when it comes to learning how to aim in Valorant is by playing deathmatch, because in deathmatch you're always getting into gunfights and you're fighting people that actually move, and you're shooting guns you're going to be shooting in the game. But one of the best things about deathmatch is that you're playing on the maps that you're actually going to play on, and you're shooting the guns that you're going to be shooting, so you can practice not only your movement but also your shooting style, like tapping and bursting. But the most important thing you're practicing when you're playing deathmatch is your crosshair placement and keeping it crosshair at head level. But I'd say the worst thing about deathmatch is that I'd say most people wide swing in deathmatch, so it kind of like makes you hold your crosshair wider than would be required in a normal game, which is what I would consider the worst part about deathmatch. Besides all the people like camping and just like playing off sound and stuff like that. But if you're playing deathmatch, I highly recommend lowering your sound and turning on some music and just playing. Try not to get tilted as much, even though I know like deathmatch, it's extremely tilting when people play in a certain way. Focus more on yourself than the enemy. And in deathmatch, when you're playing, you want to be focusing on a certain goal. For example, one deathmatch, I might focus mostly on movement and doing a perfect counter trace. Next deathmatch, I might focus 100% on my crosshair placement and going for one taps. It's about putting all your effort into one thing, and that's going to make you improve the most. Next thing, talk about our aim trainers. So that would be either Kovacs, Aim Beast, or Aim Lab is my top three. And I personally like Kovacs the most because it has the most scenarios and playlists. A lot of people say that you should double your sense or play an extremely high sense or whatever when you're playing Kovacs. Personally, I like just keeping my Valorant settings the same as my Kovacs settings, so then it just feels the same to me. And some of my favorite playlists include the Alexander playlist, and the code's going to be on the right, so you can type it in at any time. This crunchy routine, and it might be a little bit outdated, but I still have it. The old school pith routine, which I think is outdated, but I still think it works perfectly fine. The official Kovacs Valorant playlist is actually not as bad as people would think. And when you're playing games like Valorant, you really want to focus on dynamic, speed, and static clicking. This Zeke static playlist is really great to improve your static scores. The next playlist I want to show is the Frosty ZK playlist, and he's a TSM Academy player, and he's an insane aimer as well. And the last playlist I'm going to show is a really long one. It's the Voltaic Valorant playlist, and obviously it has a ton of scenarios, but I think personally it was one of the best playlists I used to get better aim. And the last thing I'm going to show is the Aim Lab routine, and when you're playing Aim Lab, you can become just as good as if you're using Kovacs, but it's just going to depend on if you know how to use Workshop and the custom scenarios. The first routine I want to talk about is the Ari Valorant routine, and I actually think it's one of the better routines compared to the Kovacs ones. So the last playlist I'm going to talk about is the T-Aim Tactical V2 by Titanos, and it's actually really good, and I actually think Grid Shot is really good to warm up. And a lot of people shit on Grid Shot for getting better aim, but Grid Shot's actually a really great way to warm up, and Grid Shot Precision is actually really good to improve your static clicking and micro adjustments. And my favorite Aim Lab tasks that come built in are 6-Shot Ultimate, Micro Shot Precision, Micro Flex Precision, especially because I think reflex training is really important in a game like Valorant, because it's a lot about like reacting to someone peeking you, or you peek into someone and you have to adjust your crosshair. So I think Micro Flex Precision is actually really great for that. I thank you guys for watching this short aim training video. I know I didn't say much, but there's tons of resources out there that you can use, and I was just showing you guys the tools I use to get better aim. That's basically it, so thank you for watching, and make sure you follow my Twitch at twitch.tv/orajani for notifications when I go live. And yeah.